In this section, we're going to talk about some of the minor planets or aspects in the astrology chart. So if you do an astrology chart and report through me, these are some of the things that you're going to get on your chart as well. So we may as well go through them so that you understand the types of energies that are going to be in there. A lot of these I really love, even though they consider more quote unquote minor, less well known than the specific planets. But I think there's some important energies to discuss as well. First one is Chiron, which is like the wound healer. So Chiron is really a comet. So scientifically, what is it? Chiron is a comet that has an erratic orbit around Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. And so it's out there. So it represents our emotional and physical wounds. These emotional and physical wounds are likely brought into this life from a past life. So it does tie into some of our past life stuff. What it really does is encourage us to heal our wounds, then look beyond ourselves to see suffering in others, and then become healers and teachers. I think that's I'm super big into mindfulness as well too, as you may know. And so from that, this is one of the messages I feel like if you really understand and go deep into kind of almost your pain and then figure out I have a friend who kind of discusses a lot of these things and works with people. And he always says, your gift in life that you were meant to give to the world always lies next to your greatest pain in life. And that's why so few people really accomplish what they do, because what you want to find is exactly at least where you want to look for it. And so that's why a lot of people don't actually succeed in life. Whereas he says, if and this kind of gets to, if you're willing to at least, say embrace it or raise awareness to what potential emotional pain and wounds that you have, you can not only heal yourself. Once you do that, you can look beyond yourself, get beyond yourself, and actually see the suffering in others. And once you have this kind of connection, realize that we're all truly just connected. And so it gives more empathy towards others and other the plight of their paths. And then that way each of us can become teachers and healers in our own way based on our struggle. So if at the end of the day, when we think about achieving your true path in life and what you're meant to do in this life, a lot of us think, I'm meant to do something huge, impact tons and tons of people, or make tons and tons of money, or be super famous, whatever it is you think about. But in reality, if one of the goals that you have in life or one thing that you accomplish is the worst events that you went through, if you're able to go back and help other people who are going through the exact same thing and make their journey a little bit easier, a little less painful than you had it, then that's a huge accomplishment as well too, because you've helped each other people out as well. I've gone through a divorce when I was fairly young, and so I think the idea of if there was a way to help other people and kind of really talk to them and help them kind of recover faster maybe than I did through that kind of event, then say, okay, this is how you can go through this and come out the other side and be a better person, and realize that the whole journey is connected and this is all meant to serve your greater good. That's kind of what Chiron is kind of leading you towards. So I think it's a wonderful energy to consider, and something that it can be difficult for lots of people, but it's something that can be really important to unlock lots of things for yourself and realize that measuring the depth of your impact of your life isn't necessarily in volume as far as how many people, how much money, how much fame, but maybe in depth of the impact that you may have with one individual or groups of individuals or members of your family or even your own kids, or stopping certain cycles of from affecting future generations. That's I guess I won't go belabor it any bit more, but that's my views on Chiron and why I enjoy it so much and why it's in the charts and reports. Hopefully you're enjoying, or you can get as well if you really want to go deeper into your own journey. Next is the North Node. So scientifically, what is this? This is where the path of the sun and the moon intersect at the time of your birth. There's two, it'll be northern and southern nodes. This is where eclipses occur. I think what most people don't really understand is the moon and the sun are on slightly different elliptical orbits. Picture it as not exactly the letter X, but a hula hoop, one kind of going up, the other kind of going down. So if you were to link them together, there's lots of places where they would miss each other, and there's 2 points where they would connect, if that's the best example for it. So I think what people don't fully understand is, since they're on different planes, the moon and sun, if they were on the exact same plane all the time, we would have an eclipse at least every month, if not something else, right? So why are eclipses so rare? It's because there are so many times the sun and moon are passing each other, but they're above or below each other because they're not on the same plane. And only when they reach these points of the north or the south node, where they're in the exact same plane, kind of crossing each other, that's where eclipses can actually occur. And that's how we get eclipses. That's why they're more rare and don't happen as often, because they gotta wait till it lines up just right, not just passing each other like they would potentially every month or a couple times a month. So what the North Node points to is the key lesson in your life. It represents new experience towards which you must aim during this life. It's basically, what are you made to get out of, like, what's you kind of had a mission or a plan coming into this life. What is it that you really need to learn through the journey of this life, and to experience in order to like really be successful in this life, and almost a lesson you need to learn based on all the other experiences that you had. Maybe it's something that may be difficult for you, or maybe something you need to emphasize that maybe you didn't know about. But this is like, of all the experiences and all the energies on your chart that are coming to you, the sum culmination of why are all these things happening to me, why they're all happening to you, is because you really need to learn this lesson. And once you do it, may unlock more potential and more energies. Everyone, if you kind of know me, I love numerology as well. And there are these I kind of view it as like master numbers in numerology. Whereas some numbers like an 11, if you're not ready to handle that energy, an 11 can also be reduced to a 2. You kind of go down to the level of the 2 energy. And for me, I have a lot of 2s in my chart. 2 in numerology is the people pleaser, right? So you're kind of putting your needs second to please other people. But eventually, when you're ready, you vibrate and you're ready to emotionally handle it, you can go up to the 11 energy, and that's more like the kind of like the leader, someone who has a teacher who can kind of help other people. So it's almost like once you're ready to step into who you're meant to be, or the energy you're meant to be, then that can unlock more things from you. So I feel like once you truly raise awareness to your North Node energy and embrace it and kind of learn the lesson you're meant to learn through all of this, and the sooner you do it, the better, or at least meditate on and raise awareness, then it becomes, okay, once I do that, then almost another higher level of energy will open up to you, and you can have a greater impact and greater success on your journey in this life. Next one is Selena, or I've seen Selene as well. So this is the white moon. And so all the other ones, since I love astronomy as well, and I like to tell you, and I like to know what these are scientifically, and in space, where are they, what are they doing, how they overlap. Well, that's not going to happen with Selena. So Selena, the white moon, is a hypothetical second moon that revolves around the Earth every 7 years. So it does not exist, to my knowledge, at all in any point in reality. But I believe the meaning behind it is so beautiful. And again, with my connection to mindfulness, I think it's something that everyone should be aware of, and something I made sure I emphasize in the astrology charts and reports that I do. So she represents the point of this is really, if you're doing tarot, this is the true like high priestess energy from the tarot. And so she represents the point of awareness, whereby we understand our role on earth and start our soul's journey, lighting the way for others. This is truly like the moment when it clicks, where you figure out is, what am I supposed to do in this life journey? What is my role meant to be in this world, and who can I serve, and how am I going to help the world around me or the people within my influence? And then that's really when you start your journey. You stop living, I call it on the earthly plane in tarot, for how other people think you should live, and how other people are currently living, and you start your true soul's journey. This journey your soul was meant to experience coming in here. And then I love the part of lighting the way for others, which is, if you become, have the awareness and the intention to focus on what is your true soul's journey, and then really raise the awareness of what you're meant to do in this life, then you can light the way for others. The best thing Tim Story talks about in one of his videos is, once you have a breakthrough, your first responsibility is to reach back and pull others through as well too. So in any aspect of life, if you have a breakthrough where you finally overcome an obstacle, you overcome a barrier, you overcome something, one of the first responsibilities you should have is to reach back. Like, it's kind of like breaking through a wall, like whether it's a financial wall, or a personal relationship wall, or whatever the case may be. Once you break through that wall, then you got to reach back and help pull other people through, because now you've made it easier for them, and lighten the way for others is a real big part of this mission, which is, how do you be a leader and break through, and then be able to help other people elevate themselves and make things easier for other people as well too. I think it's a very beautiful energy, lines up with a lot what resonates with me about kind of mindfulness and what we're meant to do here to help other people. And then next one, I mean, you may have more, because lots of people know your rising sign, your ascendant, but I just wanted to cover it because there isn't really, other than the orientation of the astrology chart in the beginning, I haven't really touched upon it. But the ascendant this is the definition of your rising sign. So you talk about the big three. Everybody, a lot of people, if you're into it on social media, your sun sign, then your moon sign, and then your rising sign. So your rising sign tells you how you express yourself as an individual. So it's not your identity specifically, but how you express that identity. It's more of like your primary motivation in life. Whereas I see like your sun sign, because your sun is first house energy as well too. So that is, kind of I was talking about the spotlight, how you want to be seen, almost like thinking about that persona or that mask or that character you want to play on stage. How you want to be seen, whereas the rising sign is more of like, well, this is who you truly are. This is your primary motivation in life. And then as you get older, you strive to express yourself through the qualities of the ascendant, and maybe even, it may be hard for people to let go of some of that sun sign identity. I think what someone said, the true evolution of your life is when who you really are and who other people see you and who you want to be. If you can get those three individuals as close to each other as possible, that's when you get true kind of happiness and joy in your life. The more different those people are, so if either who you want to be is not lined up with who you are today, or how other people see you or how you want other people to see you does not line up with who you really are, or even how you want to lead your life, that's going to cause a lot of discord and disharmony in your life. And that's why I view as this one as the ascendant being so important, is if this is really your primary motivation in life, and really getting back to your energy as a kid, is like, why did you come here, what did you really mean to do, and tap into that youthful energy of like what really motivates you, what gets you going, then you will be able to express yourself more through the ascendant, and probably be willing to let go of some of the masks you wear and really worrying about what other people think, and maybe even let some of your sun sign go. I know that might be difficult for some of you as a Scorpio who's a rising Gemini. That's going to be really tricky for me because I've always resonated with Scorpio as well. But this is a lot of time I spend a lot of time thinking about as well through meditation and stuff like that as well too. So I think it's just worth making sure we mention that here as well. And then the midhaven. So the midhaven is defined as the kind of like, it would be noon, perfectly in the sky, and this would be the dividing line between your 9th and 10th house. So the zodiac sign that is over your midhaven is the zodiac sign that rules your 10th house, just by definition convention. So this one really tells you about your public life, including social status, your chosen profession. It can show how you crave, recognition. So this is all about like how you're made to project yourself or who you want to be in the public sphere, in the public life. That can kind of get into some 10th house energy. 9th house is like how you learn, where you want to, your formal education, whatever that may be through life experiences. 10th house is more of like how you're, instead of home, it's how you want to work, your career, kind of profession kind of stuff. So kind of merging those energies together. The midhaven really tells about how you want to be out in public versus home or working on yourself. So a lot of the northern hemisphere energy is all about how you, at the bottom of your chart is how you want to work on yourself and the self work you need to do. And then the top is really about how you want to interact with the world and the public. And the midhaven's like the highest point, the zenith of that is the best way to explain it. The zenith of how you, to what you want to do in your public life. So that I would pay most attention to that zodiac sign energy and see how you resonate with that, or how that plays a role into how you want to be perceived in public.